Hey guys, welcome to my assessment superpowers out of class lesson. Thank you for coming and checking this out. You're probably wondering what it's all about. It doesn't look like a normal PowerPoint lecture, and it isn't. This is something that should be much more fun for you. The main point is, it's up to you if you want to watch this, but I think if you spend 5 minutes, then you are going to give your assessment some superpowers, and you're on your way to a higher grade. Alright, let's get stuck in. Alright, this week we're going to look at my secret powers of storytelling. First question is, do you like films? Well, of course, everyone likes films. I know all of you guys like films because we talk about them a lot in the lectures and seminars. The thing is about films is that they all follow the same basic structure. So in a few minutes, after we finish this quick lecturette, you'll be able to write your very own blockbuster. So I'm going to reveal to you the secret of movie writing. Let's start with this. Alright. Can Star Wars be the same as Harry Potter? Well, you guys are probably thinking, no, they're completely different stories. So, let's check this out. As you can see, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Star Wars, A New Hope. That's the titles. Harry Potter is an orphan. Luke Skywalker is an orphan, living with his uncle and aunt on the remote wilderness of, I think it's Tatooine, I haven't seen the movie, or on the remote wilderness of Suburbia, in the case of Harry Potter. He's rescued from Muggles, aliens, by wise, bearded Hagrid, Ben Kenobi, who turns out to be a wizard or a Jedi Knight. You're seeing it now, aren't you? Hagrid, or Ben, reveals to Harry that Harry, or Luke's father, was also a wizard or Jedi Knight and was the best pilot or Quidditch player he'd ever seen. Can you see how this is forming a pattern? Harry, or Luke, is also instructed in how to use a magic wand or a Jedi lightsaber, as he too trains to become a Jedi or a wizard. Harry, or Luke, has many adventures in Hogwarts, in the galaxy, and makes new friends such as Han Solo, or Ron Weasley, and Princess Leia, Hermione. Do you feel like you've been cheated a little bit? Do you feel like it's the same story? There's a definite pattern. In the course of these adventures, he distinguishes himself as a top X-Wing pilot, or Quidditch seeker. In the battle of the Death Star, or the Quidditch match, you can see what goes on. Harry and Luke also sees off the threat of Lord Voldemort, or Darth Vader, who we know murdered his uncle and aunt or parents. In the finale, Luke, or Harry, and his new friends receive medals of valor and win the House Cup. Incredible, isn't it? The same basic structure of the story. Okay, so every movie you've ever seen has this kind of structure. This was written by Donald Miller, who's an expert on how to build a story. So every story has a character. The character has a problem, meets a guide, who gives them a plan, who calls them to action, and that ends in a success or helps them avoid failure. And that is the basic structure of every story. Yes, you're thinking, what is this to do with marketing? How is this to do with an MA in hospitality and tourism marketing? You'd be quite right to think that. But of course, this is a superpower lesson. So the reason is, we can either write really boring stories, endless boring adverts that you all just flick past all the time, that pop up all the time on your phones. You never remember them. They have no emotion whatsoever. Or we can write hero ads that are crafted stories, that grab attention, that get remembered, and that you watch from the start to the beginning, and you might even share them. That is the beauty of storytelling. This is how it works. We always position, so remember this was the slide we had just before, it's the same layout, Donald Miller. Every story is a character, which is always has to be your customer. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, always position your customer as the hero and your hospitality brand as the guide. You solve their problem. That's how you build the story. Your customer, a character, has a problem. That's the bit that you can change and have fun with. Meets a guide. You can have fun with that bit too. Who gives them a plan, which is something interesting about your business. It calls them to action and usually ends in a success or helps them avoid failure. It might help them avoid going to a horrible destination that they didn't want to go to anyway, or it might end up in an amazing family holiday, or visiting somewhere that they've never even dreamt of, or going to a restaurant they've never even dreamt of. This is what we're going to start to build in our seminars. So you're here today to look at this so you can think about what we might do in the seminar. The reason why stories work is because it goes straight to our right side. And the right side of our brain lights up. And the right side of our brain is where all the emotional magic happens. That's where we remember things, it's where we're creative, it's where we have our feelings, it's where our imagination lies. And that's why we remember stories. That's how they work. Okay, now it's up to you. You don't have to go any further than that. That's the bit I wanted to introduce. But if you want to learn a little bit more about storytelling, then I recommend that you watch this by David J. Phillips, who tells us about stories and how they affect our brain psychologically. It lasts about 10 minutes. Everybody I've ever shown it to has loved it, and it will definitely add more superpowers to your assessment. Your marks will go up because you'll start to understand really what happens psychologically. It's very, very interesting. So you can watch that or not. It's up to you. And if you love that, then you can explore this as well afterwards. So this is the deck of brilliance. So 2 advertisers put this together, and basically it's about all the stories that I ever use in any kind of advertising. Have a good trawl through that. You could lose days and years to it. It's wonderful. Fantastic ideas of how you might create stories for your brand. We are going to, on Thursday, create our own story brands. So you've already been working on the areas of tourism and hospitality that you would like to market. So let's create stories. And now you've watched this, you've got a head start on the others. So thank you very much for coming along. And I'll see you Thursday. Thank you.